when they do that, that's called an illusion. So we're going to be learning about illusions today and depth. And we're going to be using warm and cool colors. So if everyone can see the PowerPoint. Oh, for those of you who just joined, my name is Miss C or Miss Coggeshell. It's nice to meet you. So we're going to learn about illusion of depth with warm and cool colors. And you can achieve illusion of depth by using warm and cool colors as well as overlapping shapes. And I'm going to go through some vocabulary for that too in a little bit. So here's our warm and cool color chart. And you can see that the warm colors on one side, we have our reds, our oranges, and our yellows. And then on the other side we have our cool colors, which are violets, blues, greens. So those are the colors we're going to use. We're going to use more of those primary colors, which are red, yellow, blue. So you can turn to a partner and maybe tell me something in nature that has warm colors. So I'll go first. So warm. The sun is a warm color, right? That's yellow in nature. Anyone else think of one? How about for cool? What does blue make you think about in nature? Oh, I see some hands, yeah. Very cool. Go ahead and tell your partner. Tell your partner what your answer is. Okay. So I think of the ocean, right? Maybe some water, some cool water. So that's how it's a good way to remember which is warm and cool colors. So this is an illusion of depth using color. So this yellow kind of makes it look like it's popping out at you, like a, if you're looking at a, I don't know, let's see, an Egyptian pyramid, right? It looks like it's coming towards you. And then over here with the blue, it kind of looks like it's sinking in. And this is all flat pieces of paper. This is flat paint, but yet it looks like it's three-dimensional, right? It has a lot of depth. And then that is Mark Vogel, and he is the artist who does this artwork. And that painting is flat, even though it looks three-dimensional. It even looks kind of pointy, huh? Like I said, like an Egyptian pyramid. But it's all flat, and he does it with just colors. And if you get really good at that, then this is what using warm and cool colors can do. If you look at the face, the dark blue makes the face look farther away, and then the yellows make the face look like it's popping out at you, like your nose, right? And her cheek on this side, it looks like it's higher up. And you can same with the car, so the red, so reds and warm colors make things look like it's in front. And then any of the cool colors will make it look like it's behind. So that's why we have the green door over here by the car, to make it look like it's farther away. So an illusion of depth. And I'm going to nerd out. This is one of my favorite artists, Ray Eames. And Ray Eames loves organic shapes. Do you see that cutout of that shape? That's an organic shape. You can't name it. Kind of looks like a blob, right? It's not a circle. It's not a triangle. It's an organic shape. And she does illusion of depth with using overlapping shapes. So, see, the black is behind the white organic shape, and the white shape looks like it's in front. And her artwork is really cool. And she does illusion of depth with shapes. And here's another one. And here's another one she does. So it looks like some things are really close to you and other things are really far away. And my favorite thing about Eames is her and her husband designed all these chairs. And these chairs are so popular. I remember being in elementary school and using some of these chairs. You can still buy these chairs on Amazon. Yeah, and she invented these type of chairs. So, yeah, she's one of my favorite artists. And we're going to kind of combine these two artists. We're going to combine Ray Eames. And we're also going to combine Mark Vogel, and we're going to kind of make our own art today using being inspired by them. So I'm going to stop sharing the PowerPoint. And this is our little vocabulary tree. And today's vocabulary word is going to be illusion of depth, even though it's 2 words. And we're going to put that on there. The other ones, our other class, the kindergarteners and first graders and second graders, they learned about overlapping shapes and warm and cool colors, and we're doing that too. So I'm going to share my document camera. And let me flip that because that is upside down. I don't think you guys can read upside down, can you? Or backwards. Okay. So, give me a thumbs up if you can see this. Good, awesome. So let's all say illusion of depth. Illusion is a visual art technique that creates something that's not really happening, okay? We're not really, say if we're drawing space, we're not really in space. Or if we look at Mark Vogel, it's not really a pyramid, it's just one-dimensional. So the way I think of illusion is magic a magician uses is often an illusion. So if a magician takes a quarter out of your ear, or he combines 2 rings, it's not really happening, but it's the illusion that it's happening. And then depth. Like if you go swimming in a pool, it gets deeper and deeper. You can see depth in a mirror sometimes. It's the illusion of space between objects, okay? So that's what depth means in art. You can create depth with using colors and overlapping shapes. So, are these 2 circles overlapping? No. How about these 2? Yes, they are overlapping shapes. So we're going to be doing some overlapping, and the intersection is that another new shape that they create. So Ray Eames uses shapes to create depth, and Mark Vogel uses color to create depths. And we're going to combine those 2 ideas, and we're going to do some artwork. Can everyone go, ooh, ah, very pretty, huh? And then we have another example. What shapes are we using here? Circles, right? Ooh, ah, this is more organic shapes. We have a circle here, but the rest of them are organic. We can't name them. We can't call that a triangle or a rectangle. It's nameless, so that's how you know it's organic. Ooh, ah, so we have warm colors. We got cool colors. This one looks like we're in outer space. Yeah? Do you like the rings? Like Saturn? We have another one. And then we have this one. Ooh, ah. So, we are going to create one ourselves. And let's go with a warm-up sheet. Does everyone have a warm-up sheet? Someone have a warm-up sheet? We're going to grab our pencil, and we're not going to grip it all the way down here. No, no, no. We're going to move it to the center, or even to the top, between this area, okay? We're not putting our fingers all the way down here. We're moving it up here, because we want to get nice and loose and goosey, okay? So in fact, if you want, you can put your pencil in the air and wave it like you don't care, like Miss C. You're going to do some arm circles just in the air. Thank you, class. That looks great. Getting your arm, you're using your whole shoulder. You're not just doing tiny little wrists. You're actually using your whole shoulder when you get to the page. So we're going to go and put that pencil on the paper, and we're going to do some circles. Now, circles do not have to be perfect. In fact, I think circles are more interesting when they're not perfect. So we're just going to come, we're going to do big circles, and we're going to make a spiral. And then we're going to come back and maybe go over that spiral again. Okay, so that's a large circle. Now I want you to do a medium circle, and I want you to do some overlapping. So, is this overlapping? No. Is this overlapping? Yes. So we're going to do another medium spiral that overlaps our first large one. You guys are doing great. And I'm going to do another medium circle. Oh, actually, I'm going to do an organic shape. We can practice some organic shapes. There's no wrong way to do an organic shape, I promise. The only thing it has to do is it has to connect, okay? So if you make an organic shape, but then you never actually touch the end of the line, then that's not it. So here's an example. Is that an organic shape? Nope. Is it an organic shape now? Yes. Because why? It's touching. It's a complete shape. Alright, let's do, oh, and then we can kind of trace that organic shape. I like calling this like meditative kind of lines. Sometimes Miss C likes to trace shapes over and over again. Kind of calms her down. Feels good. We can even do it to this one if we want. Okay. And then we're going to do a small circle, and then we'll do a spiral. And it's overlapping every shape, except this guy. He's not overlapping, but he was my little example. But everyone else is touching, right? Everyone else is overlapping. That's what we want to do. We feel nice and loose. I'm going to give you a few more minutes. If you're nice and done, you can just keep going like this and warming up your hand. Maybe start in the middle of the spiral this time. It's kind of good to start at different places on your page. So before we were starting on the outside of the spiral, now you can start the inside. Alright, do we feel nice and warm? Let's see. What we're going to need now is black construction paper and some oil pastels. We all have oil pastels? And a piece of black construction paper. If your black construction paper isn't the same as Miss C's, that's okay. It's not the same size. That's alright. What's the first thing you do when you get a piece of paper? You put your name and the date, right? So we can use our pencils for that. We're just going to go to the corner, and I'm going to put my name, Miss Coggeshall, Coggeshall. And then today's date, if you want, we can put 9/9/24. Because sometimes it's really nice to look back at your artwork at different stages and from years from now, and you'd be like, wow, I've improved so much, or oh, that was so fun, I want to do that again. So after you write your name, guess what? We're going to flip it over. Actually, no, scratch that. Stay on this side. This is our back side of our paper. Is it our back or front? It's the back, okay? I want you to grab some oil pastels, and I want you to find your warm and cool colors. So let's help me. Is red a warm or cool color? That's a warm color. Yellow is a warm color. Orange is a warm color. Even this rusty yellow, which I really like, is a warm color. These browns are technically warm colors, but we're not going to use the brown yet. And then for our cool colors, we got dark blue. We got, what is this blue called? Cobalt blue. Oh, that looks more like a cobalt to me. But anyway, that one's dark blue, cobalt blue. And then we have our light blue. So we have our warm and cool colors. And I also want you to find your white and your white. Find your white oil pastel. And we're going to just sample. So this is the back side. We know it's the back side because it says our name and date. And I want you to grab your white oil pastel. If you can't reach your oil pastel, you can kind of rip some paper off. And I just want you to go back and forth and make a little test strip. And then we'll make another little test square. And we're going to see how these warm and cool colors affect on and off of the black paper. Because this black construction paper is really fun to work with. So I'm going to see what the yellow looks like on the white and off the white. So this is what it looks like on the white oil pastel. That's what it looks like off the white oil pastel. I'm going to come with this rusty yellow. Okay, that's what it looks like with the base of white. I hope everyone's following along and we all at a good speed. Okay, if you need to, you can always message me if I'm going too fast, okay? And then we're going to see what it looks like off of the white. Okay. It's always good to test your materials before you waste some expensive paper. Miss C learned that the hard way. So you have the orange on the white, and we have the orange on the black paper. So we see how that's a little different. And then we get our red, and then we have our red here. That one has the most drastic difference. You see how drastically different that is? Okay. Now we're going to move on to our cool colors. Colors that make us feel relaxed. So that's what the dark blue looks like on the white. That's what it looks like with just the black paper. Here's our cobalt blue. Ooh, that's really vibrant, huh? And then this is what it looks like on the black. And then we have our light blue or our pastel blue. Alright. Okay. You guys feel nice and warmed up? I think we're ready. We're going to move all of our nice oil pastels back into its box, because I'm going to flip my page over and we are going to get ready to do some art and some organic shapes. I'm pretty excited. So I'm going to leave my oils right there. And I'm going to flip over my paper. And we're going to use our pen, or actually, no, we're not going to use our pencil because it's too much erasing. We're just going to grab our white oil pastel. If yours is larger than mine, that's okay, but if you have a tiny one like me, I kind of like the tiny ones, they're easier to use. Let's see, did I get a message? Oh, okay. I can lock it? That's good to know. Let's see if this, does this lock it? Oh, look at that. You guys are giving me all the good tips. Yeah, as a new teacher, you got to give me all those fancy tips. I love it. Okay. So, let me get my directions. What did I do with those? Alright, our steps. Let's say these together. Create 3 or 4 organic shapes. Step 2. Have the organic shapes overlap. We all know what overlapping is, right? So here's a circle and another circle, and they're touching and overlapping. Oh, can this go away? Okay. Go on. Come on. There. And then an organic shape is something. This is not an organic shape yet because why? It's not touching. Now it's an organic shape. This could be an organic shape. This can't be because it's not finished. It's not touching. So here's one. There it goes. And then step 3. Overlapping should create a new shape. So if you have a fancy organic shape, and then let's say you add just a normal circle, there's a new shape right here. This creates a new shape. Okay? Step 4. Mark all internal shapes with a W for warm. So let me give you an example of what an internal shape is. This is an internal shape because it's not out here. That's an internal shape. That's an internal shape. These are external. External. Let me give you another example. This is external shape. This is an internal, external. Okay? So, we're going to mark them with a W for warm and an external C for cool. That sounds confusing, but don't be confused because we're going to do it together. So grab your white oil pastel, and we're going to start with one large shape. So I'm going to just do a normal large circle, and you don't have to start in the middle. You can start off to the side if you want. Oh, I thought that, did that freeze it? Okay. If you want, you can put it in the middle, but you don't have to. But it has to be large, okay? So do a large circle or an organic shape. So after you have one, we need 3 or 4 shapes, okay? So I'm going to do a medium organic shape, and I'm just going to start over here, making sure that they overlap. And we're just doing this with our oil pastel. And is it a complete shape yet? No, Miss C needs to connect it. So now we have 2 shapes, and actually we have a 3rd shape right here, right? Makes a new shape. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a smaller shape right here. And I'm going to do another organic shape. Your shapes do not have to look like Miss C's. Your shapes can look different. You can have more circles. You can have more organic shapes. In fact, I'm going to add one more circle right here. There we go. Now, for my older kids, or anyone who feels brave, you can do some negative space, which is you add a shape within your shape. It's a shape within a shape. And I can show you how to do that. We could, let's see. We can do it right here. So I'm going to remember to keep this one black, okay? So that's why we're going to write. So anything internal, we're going to mark with a what? A W for warm. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to keep working, but I'm going to read this again. Make all internal shapes, marking with a W for warm. And any external shapes we're going to mark with a C. So I'm just going to put a little W right here for warm. And a little W right here for warm. And I want to keep this one black, kind of like this example. But you don't have to do that. If you want, you can put a W there. Oh, I forgot one. This is a warm color. Okay. So all of my internal shapes, except that internal shape, just because I want to keep it black, the same color as the paper, I'm going to leave that one. So all of my warm colors. Okay. Now, we are going to go off with our warm colors. So I'm going to start with the darkest color we have. Red is my darkest warm color. And now we have some choices to make. And being an artist, being an artist is making choices. I'll be honest, that's all you do within art. So you make choices, make choices, make choices. So, you can either do some of those Zen lines, kind of like we did in our warm-up. Remember when we did those spirals in our warm-up? We can either do some of those Zen lines where you just trace the shape, or you can just shade in the whole thing, kind of like this green example, or this red example, this blue, this purple example, or you can just color it in outright. I'm going to show you how to do, let's see. I'll show you how to do the shading one first. So, I want you to grab a red and a white, and I'm just lightly, you don't have to do it hard, I'm just lightly going to color in my first warm shape, which is a white, and then put that off to the side. And then I'm going to outline that shape. I'll zoom in a little bit. And once you have that outlined, there's a key to using oil pastels. It's you make little marks like this. You mark it and go up, and it makes a cute little like noise. That works the best with oil pastels. When you do this with oil pastels, for some reason it kind of gets muddy. I like doing the little hatch marks. Those are called hatch marks, where you pick up the oil pastel, you make a mark and pick it up, and you move it. It's kind of a weird technique, but we'll be practicing it throughout the year. Alright, if you notice, I kept the middle white, so I'm done with my red. Getting a phone call. You're going to find your next darkest color, which will be orange. So grab your orange. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, you're going to grab your orange. And you're not going to start here in the middle. What I want you to do is blend. So you're going to actually start from the edge and move inwards. Okay? There's a difference from just coloring right here, from coloring from the edge, and lifting up your oil pastel and blending. After you have your orange, you're going to come find your next lightest. We're moving from darks to lights. You're going to find your yellow, and you're just going to color in the yellow right there. But what I like to do is actually have the yellow go around the whole thing, and you kind of just blend everything together. You never blend with your finger. So I've seen a lot of students, they get oil pastels, they start doing this, and then they go like this with their finger. You don't want to do that, because then it makes the oil pastel actually come off your paper. You can see that, how it's coming off your paper. So you never blend with your finger. You always blend with more oil pastel. It's a key to making your art look nice and clean. So I'm just blending with my oil pastel. Okay. Alright. So we can move on to my next warm color. And I know that my internal shapes are going to be warm because why? I marked them with a W. And since this W shape, or this warm shape, is kind of larger, I'm going to do more of the meditative kind of like lines like this. So we practiced this type, which is shading. Now we're going to practice this shape, this type of line work called meditative sort of line work. But we're going to start off with this lightly, making the whole thing white, because this helps with blending. It helps with blending. That's why we practiced on the back. Okay. So we lightly did that, and then we are going to use our warm colors still, but this time we're going to do some of that meditative sort of shapes where we made those spirals. So I did one, and then I'm going to come and do another red line, and then I'm going to go do another red line, and then I can fit like one more, and then maybe like a little dot. Alright, and I'm just going to outline this one more time so it's nice and bold. I'm going to go over the whole thing again. Okay, so I'm done with my red, and I'm going to move on. I'm actually going to put a little red right here, make this a little darker. I'm going to move on to my orange, which is the next color. We always work from dark to light, so we're starting with the dark warm color, then the medium, and then the light. And then I'm going to do orange in between. You guys see how I'm doing orange in between those lines? And it's kind of like a race car. Have you guys ever played with Hot Wheels and you just go around and around the track? Same idea, just with oil pastels. And then we're going to come to the next one. We're going to go around and around and around. And then we're going to go internal and keep just moving in towards the center. Just move towards the center. And then we do one in the middle. And then what we're going to do when we're all done with the orange is we're going to blend with our handy dandy yellow, just like we did before. Now Miss C's oil pastels are kind of, I'm going to take off this. Well, actually here, I found one right here. I like using the tiny ones. And we're just going to do the same thing, but we're just blending, okay? You don't have to be as careful this time. You kind of just go back and forth. You kind of do a little bit of blending here, a little bit of blending there. Anywhere where you see the black paper, anywhere where you see the white, you just kind of blend it together. Don't be afraid of going on top of a color. That's okay. That's what blending is. So you're going straight on top, and you're kind of doing that spiral motion. Spiral motion like we did in our warm-up. Yeah, I think it's looking pretty cool. I kind of went outside of the lines. It's okay. Miss C breaks rules sometimes. It's okay to go outside of the lines. Alright, this looks nice and blended now. Okay. And I like to blow away any extra oil pastel. Okay. Now, we have one left. And I think it's too small to do this. So So I'm going to do this one again. And I'm just going to start with our same 3 colors, our warm colors. And, oh, Miss C almost forgot a step. What did Miss C forget? She was going to go straight with the red. I forgot to what? Color in lightly with the white. Right. So I'm going to do some of those little hatch lines, and I'm just going to outline this shape, do some hatching. Then I'm going to come with my orange, do the same thing. It's okay to mix the colors. We want that. We want them to mix. And then we're going to come with that yellow, and we're going to blend the whole thing with the yellow. I'm just going to start with the center and move outwards. This abstract art is supposed to be very meditative. It's supposed to make you feel really relaxed, especially when you get to the blue colors. Okay, I kept that one blank because we're going to leave it blank, just like in this example, how we have this dude right here blank. So we don't have to worry about him. If you want to color yours in, go for it, but you don't have to. We are all done with our warm colors. And now we're going to move on to our cool colors. So who can remind me what's a cool color? So if we go back to that color wheel, greens are cool colors, blues are cool colors, purples, we don't have any purple, but we can make purple. So we're going to take out the blue and the cobalt blue. This is the dark blue, cobalt blue, and then the light blue, the pastel blue. Okay? And I like using the little tiny guys. You don't have to. It's easier for me to use them when they're tiny. And we're going to start from dark to light. We're moving from dark to light. And for this one, I'm not going to use the white oil pastel, just because blues kind of look better on the black, if you notice. The blues kind of stand out regardless, not so much these. So I feel safe. We don't have to use that white base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some of the meditative sort of Zen shapes. So what I do is I just follow along all the way around, just like we did in our warm-up. See how I'm following that all the way around? You can even get right onto that white line. And you're just going to go all the way around. If you want to color in the whole circle white, you can, but you don't have to. Alright, so we did one go around, and then I'm going to go and do another one. Is that a complete organic shape? Nope. Now it is. Doesn't this kind of look like lava? This reminds me of lava or fire. And then what I'm doing with this one is going to remind me kind of water because of all the cool colors. Go there. We're just doing some internal shapes and spirals. Alright, looking good. I'm going to come here, cover in that white line. It looks really nice when you kind of blend it, which we'll do more of in a little bit. Okay, so I've used my dark blue. Now we're going to our cobalt blue, which is our medium color. And we're going to go in between the lines, just like we did with the warm color. So we're just going in between those lines. You don't have to be too careful because we're going to blend at the end of it. So we're just going to go all the way around. And then we come to the next one. And there's no mistakes here because we're going to blend it all anyway, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, we'll do a little more right here, maybe a little more right here. So we've done our darkest blue, our medium blue, and now we need to use our pastel blue, our light blue. And I'm going to grab my little guy right here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to outline everything. And then you come to the next circle and you do the same thing. And you just go all the way around. And then you kind of just do the same thing all over again until you get all of that black paper. So I'm going back to my dark blue. I'm just going all the way around. I'm being a little less careful because we're just kind of blending. So I'm going to be less careful. I'm just going all the way around, trying to cover up all that black paper. I'm still doing that meditative spiral shape. I'm not going back and forth like this. No siree. We want to blend so it kind of looks like there's movement, like in water. So that's why we practice those spirals. Alright. Then I'm going to come back to my cobalt blue, which is the middle blue. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go all the way around until I get all of that black paper used. And if you're faster than me, you can move on to your next shape. But if you're more on the slow end like Miss C, that's okay. You can stay with me. But if you're in the groove, you can move on to the next shape. Then I'm going back to my baby blue, my light blue, and I'm going all the way in. Putting some right here, maybe some right there. Alright. And I'm pretty happy with that. I think that looks really cool. So, then I'm going to move on to my next shape. Now, you can do green, or you can do blue, anything that's cool. So, if you want to experiment and use some of the greens, you can. I'm going to hold off on that just for a little bit, but if you want to experiment, you can. Then I'm going to use shading for this one, just like how we shaded this one. You can have all of yours like a spiral meditative shape, or you can have them all colored in, like shaded. Like this one doesn't have any spiral shapes, it's all shaded. And then this one has mostly meditative kind of shapes. This one doesn't have any, so you get to decide what you want to do. This one, I'm going to do just a normal shading. So we just outline everything. Then we go, and we're going to make those little cross hatches that come all the way from that line. You're going to hear a lot of little knocks if you are doing this right. You know you're doing hatching correctly if you can hear little tapping noises. It's probably going to be a symphony with all those students in your class. Then you're going to come to the cobalt blue, which is the medium blue, and you do the same thing. And you're starting all the way from that line. You're not starting here. No, no, no. You're starting all the way from that line, and we're just blending. Makes a nice little tapping noise. Because we are not blending with our fingers, no siree. Okay. Then we move on to our lightest blue. And we're going to come in here. Oh, I need to get rid of some of this paper. And for this, you can kind of start from the middle. This time I'm starting in the middle. And then if we want to blend it a little bit more, we grab some of that cobalt and we just go over it again. So I switch to a darker color to blend that in. It's a lot of switching back and forth from the three blues. And then you come back and maybe you add a little bit more of the light blue. Maybe I'll put some light blue right here. And then we're going to blend with the cobalt blue. And then we're going to finish off with adding a little bit of that dark blue back in there. Maybe outlining this again. You shouldn't see too much of the black paper. If you see a little bit, it's okay. Okay. Oh. Now we need to decide what we want to do for this one. This is an external shape, so it's still going to be blue. This one's an external shape, so that's going to be a cool color. I'm going to do one of those, more of that Zen shape. So I'm just moving back and forth from those 3 blues. And I always like to outline the shape with the darkest color again to kind of get rid of that white line, because that white line's just kind of like a guide. And then we have this large shape left. And I think I'm going to go for that Zen shape. So I'm just following all the way on that white line. How are we doing on time? Oh yeah, we're doing fine. You don't have to work as fast as me. If you still have a lot of shapes, or if you're done, maybe you can add some more shapes. Get right up to that yellow. Don't be afraid to do a little bit of mixing, that's okay. And I think this time I might add a little bit of green to this. So I'm going to go do my meditative sort of line. I might add some green this time. Well, I'm going to outline this guy too, even though I'm going to keep them in the middle. Okay. So I think I'm going to add some green. I'm going to add some of this dark green. I don't know if I'll like it, but I'm experimenting. It's okay. You can always redo a piece of art if you don't like it. You're not going to do a perfect piece of art your first time. These are all new techniques you're learning. Yeah. Plus, if you do make a little mistake, it kind of makes the artwork more interesting. We don't want something like a boring photograph all the time. Alright, and then I'm going to grab, so I used my dark blue, now I'm going to use my cobalt blue. I'm just going to kind of go around it all, kind of mix it in with the green. Try to find all that black, cover it up. Alright, I'm going to come to my light blue, and I'm just going to kind of blend everything together with that light blue. Ooh, you guys see how that's working with the light? I'm just going all the way around. You might not be able to see it because I'm using a tiny little piece, but I'll use my big one. Just going all the way around. It kind of blends everything together really nicely. Oh, it broke. Miss C was using too much pressure. So I'm just going over this shape over and over again. Going over this shape over and over again. Looking pretty cool. And to show a little more depth, I'm going to come with this dark blue and outline this shape again. because we're showing depth with overlapping and color. And I'm going to come around, and I'm going all the way around with this dark blue again. Mixing in this color. I'm just adding where I want to see some low lights. Low lights is when the dark color shows. So if I want to make more dark right here, accentuating it. Okay. And once we have all of that, we need to clean up some of this. So we got a little bit of this, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is, you can always move your page if you need to outline things. So I'm going to grab, after you're done coloring in all your shapes, and maybe leaving a shape, you're going to come out and outline everything in black, kind of clean up those edges. But Miss C just had an idea. Sometimes as an artist, you get inspired, or you have an idea. Sometimes you don't know if it's going to work or not. But Miss C is feeling adventurous. So what she's going to do, she's going to make another organic shape. She's just going to color that in, because I kind of want to show overlap over here too. You don't have to do this, but if you're feeling adventurous, you can definitely do it. How's everyone feeling? Good? Looks like you guys are looking good. I can't wait to see it. So I'm just adding this fun pink shape. And then I'm going to come and add some red. Maybe a little bit of orange, and I'm just going to mix everything in with this orange. And I might even have this pink kind of come out here. Maybe it's hiding over here too. And I'm just layering colors on top. Coming around with this. Okay. Now, I'm going to come and I'm just going to outline. It's okay if you go a little inside the shape. That's okay. You can make the line more weighted on some sides. And sometimes you can move the page closer to you if it's easier. We're just outlining this whole shape in the black oil pastel. Don't forget the shape in here, which makes more shapes. Coming all the way around. I'm going to move this closer to me again. Coming over here. Yeah. If anyone wants to come and show me what they did, if that's okay with your teacher, I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Oh, look at that. That looks great. Very cool. Nice. I love it. Thank you. And then you have to decide what way you like your shape. Do you want your shape this direction? Do you want it this direction? This direction, it kind of looks like a dragon to me. It's kind of cool. Oh, nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Ooh, look at all those organic shapes. Very nice. Ooh, I like that. I like all the pink you used. Very cool. Nice. Good job. Thank you. A good practice to do is name one thing that you like about your... Oh, that one's great. I love that. That looks like the planet Earth, doesn't it? That looks so cool. Thank you. Always try to find one thing. Whoa, I like that one. Nice. Always find a way to complement your own work. So, if you like how you use the use of yellow, give yourself a pat on the back.